In this lesson, we want to find the mean and standard deviation for these numbers right here. Now, in the previous lesson, we found the mean and standard deviation to be x equal 4 and s equal 2, and we used this formula right here. In this lesson, what we want to do is use this formula for the standard deviation. So when I use this formula for the standard deviation, remember we said that this formula does not involve finding the mean first, so we don't have to do that. And our table simplifies quite a bit. It's just x and x squared for the two columns. So here's my values of x. So the first thing I'm going to do is square each one. So that'll be 4. 4 squared is 16, and 6 squared is 36. Now I'm going to add each of the columns. So here I have 4 plus 16 is 20, plus 36 is 56. Over here I have 6 and 4 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So this sum right here is the sum of just all the x's, whereas this term right here is the sum of all the squares. Okay? So now I'm going to take these numbers right here and use my formula for the mean and then this for the standard deviation and see if I get what I got the last time I did this. Hold on, I got to get the phone. Okay, so it wasn't important. Anyways, I want to use this formula right here to find the standard deviation. So let's take our sum of the x's and the sum of the x squared, and first I'm going to find the mean. So the mean is going to be, just like it always has been, the sum of all the x's divided by n. And in this case, the sum of the x's is 12, n is 3, and sure enough, 12 divided by 3 is 4. That's the same way that we found the mean in the previous lesson when we used this data set. Okay, now I want to use this expression right here to find the standard deviation. So s is going to be the square root of n, which is 3, times the sum of the squares. Well, that's 56. Minus the square of the sum. So I want to take this sum and square it. So that's going to be 144. So this is the sum of the squares. This is the square of the sum. So you want to make sure you have those things, that you understand the difference between those things in order to be able to use this formula. So 144 all divided by n, which is 3, times n minus 1, which is 2. So I just substitute those numbers in. It's really easy. Here's the sum of the x's. Here's the sum of the squares. Sum of the squares goes right here. The square of the sum goes right here. So I've got that. Okay. So let's see if I can do this arithmetic. 3 times 56, well, I get 18, and then 3 times 5 is 15. 16 minus 144, all divided by 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, 168 subtract 144 is going to be, I'm going to get 24 divided by 6. That's the square root of 4, which is 2. Did I go off the screen? Nope, right there. Okay, so I get the same mean and standard deviation for this data set right here using this formula for the standard deviation that I did in the previous lesson when I used this formula for the standard deviation. So you have to trust this. This expression and this expression are exactly the same. They will always give you the same result. And I think, personally, that this is an easier formula to use because this table here is easier and I don't have to find the mean first and do all that subtraction. But I'll leave it up to you, whichever one of these you like. Both of them will give you the standard deviation.